Hello squad, I'm Cadet Fox. I am squad leader for 1st Squad, 1st Platoon Charger Company. I will be leading you all in Operation Bobcat Lightning. Our task is to attack and destroy Objective Phantom in order to deny enemy influence on the Battalion AO. Alpha Team will be attacking to destroy the enemy mortar team on Objective Phantom in order to deny enemy influence on Battalion AO, with Bravo Team interdicting the roadway leading from Jungshan in order to enable Alpha Team's destruction of the enemy mortar team. Also attached to us for this operation is Gun Team 1 from Weapons Squad, whose task is to support by fire Alpha Team's assault on Objective Phantom in order to enable the destruction of the mortar team located there. To orient you with our AO, we have north, south, east, and west. We are bounded by 37 northing to 31 northing, along with 17 easting, all the way over to 10 easting over here. Some physical boundaries are we have Route Camaro to the north and northwest over here, along with Benign River flowing along the west. To the south, running up all the way to the east, we have the Coastal Mountain Range, and in the northeast, we have a number of streams and a smaller mountain range bounding our AO up there. To orient you with the most important aspects of our AO Ronin, we have ourselves located here. Then the primary MSR, Route Camaro, running along here, all the way down south towards Objective Phantom, with Route Camaro on this portion, Objective Reaper on this portion of Route Camaro, Objective Ghost located here, and then our Objective Phantom. In our area of interest, we have AO No Slack over here, and then AO Amarok over here. Also in our AO, we have Phase Line Alaska, running through the middle of our AO, and then Phase Line Arctic, running just north of Objective Phantom. The enemy has close air support coming out of Tiatong Air Force Base, or Air Base. They have a platoon of attack helicopters, whose trigger is identification of USF battalion or higher elements. They have a reaction time of 30 minutes. They also have located in different firing positions throughout the AOI, one battery of 152 millimeter howitzers, whose trigger is identification of a USF squad element or higher. Since we are operating on squad level, we must be concerned about the howitzers. However, the attack helicopters, we will most not likely receive contact from the attack helicopters in this operation. The enemy also has a 182 millimeter mortar located here on Objective Phantom, who has been firing and the reaction time for the 152s is 10 minutes. The mortar team is located here on Objective Phantom. It's a 1 to 82 millimeter mortar. They've been firing from 0300 to 0800 daily, also from 1500 to 1900. They have a reaction time of 5 minutes. Reinforcements are on this side of the river. Their trigger is at the commander's discretion to reinforce North Torbian forces anywhere throughout AO Ronin. There's also an ADA battery with one platoon located on this side, or suspected to be located on this side of the river, and then another ADA platoon located down here in AO Amarok. Talk through our GTAO. We have very steep terrain with forcing obstacles along both the north and the south and southeast. We also have concertina wire randomly spread throughout the AO, and of course Benign River flowing here and other ephemeral streams throughout the AO. These obstacles are going to force both our movement and enemy's movement to be severely restricted, ultimately favoring the enemy who has already established themselves in fighting positions. Avenues of approach, we have here a mobility corridor moving through the valley. This is going to be the primary movement for ourselves and likely the enemy should they move from their fighting positions. Key terrain is located here on the bridge. This is key because it connects Route Camaro to the west, and then this intersection down here off of Objective Phantom. This is key because it connects Route Camaro from the south. thus controlling the movement of supplies and personnel along Route Camaro. Observation in fields of fire. It's very dense vegetation throughout here. Despite high elevations, it's going to be difficult for direct fires to reach any great distance. So direct fire engagements are going to be at close range. IDF is also going to have to find open areas to fire from, thus leading us to assume that the mortar team is firing from the field located on Objective Phantom, not from any of the woodlands. Cover and concealment. The enemy is located mostly in villages. This is going to give them a level of cover. Concealment is also going to be impacted by the dense vegetation throughout the AO, leading our movements to be mostly concealed, but also for the enemy in positions to have concealed positions as well. We also have our weather light data. There's going to be low ELUM for the entirety of our operation, thus hindering nighttime movement and NVG capabilities. There's wind, however it's going to be very light wind, thus having little to no impact on IDF or air support. Precipitation, there's going to be a 65 to 75% chance of precipitation throughout the week of our operation, leading up to and during our operation. So this is going to force the enemy to stay in place in their fighting positions, but it's also going to conceal our movements since the terrain is going to be wet. It will slow us, but ultimately make our advancements quieter. Cloud cover, again, is going to limit nighttime visibility and minimize the effectiveness of both our and the enemy's NVGs because cloud cover is around 99% for the entirety of our operation. Temperature and humidity, we're only experiencing a low of 74 degrees. It's going to be very hot for this operation, and this will favor the enemy, who is already established in their fighting positions, not having to move from them, and thus not needing water like our troops will. Civilian considerations, we have buildings along here, also in AO no slack. Since the enemy is located in these villages, it's going to minimize our ability to attack those villages or call IDF to suppress enemies there. Moving on to enemy analysis. As previously discussed, we have one platoon of mechanized North Torbian infantry across the Benign River, providing reinforcement. One suspected enemy ADA platoon, recon squad screening to the northeast. One mechanized North Torbian infantry platoon occupying AO Ronan. The 82mm more disrupting AO Ronan, and one more ADA asset along with the company headquarters. Going down to platoon analysis, there's one squad disrupting Route Camaro to the north, along with a second squad and platoon headquarters occupying this village here by the bridge, which is key terrain. We also have the recon squad screening to the northeast again, and one more squad controlling the intersection near Lun Shao, and the 82mm disrupting the entirety of Objective Phantom. Moving into some detail, we have the recon squad screening across the northeast, spread out likely across this 2.5 mile gap. They're likely spread out in 2 to 3 man LPOPs. So we can assume they are spread out within a half mile of each other. They're equipped with the primary weapon system being an M110 equivalent, having a range of 1,000 meters. Will ultimately be minimized by the dense vegetation. They also have an M249 equivalent. To the south, we have the enemy mechanized squad controlling the intersection on Route Camaro in order to enable the platoon headquarters to occupy this village to the north. Here they have an AT4 equivalent and an M2 50 cal equivalent, both oriented likely to the south to control Route Camaro from the south. Then they have the M4 equivalents, of course, along with an M249 equivalent and M320 equivalents, each with 1,000 meters on them 249, 600 on the M4 equivalent, and 1,600 on the 50 cal equivalent. Here on Objective Phantom, we have the enemy mortar team. their range reaches out all the way to 5,700 meters during the entirety of AO Ronin. They're in a 4-man team with likely the only intelligence, or early warning rather, coming from the screening element to the northeast. Here we have the squad coming up. If the squad were to come up, that would likely be the most dangerous course of action, because we would be up against a squad element with superior firepower. And they would likely identify us as a squad element, thus calling the 152 millimeter more howitzers. The most likely course of action is for the enemies on Objective Phantom to retreat to the south, downslope towards the village, or straight down south through the woods. By warfighting capabilities, the intelligence operations are mostly, that's recon element. Otherwise, they have minimal intelligence or knowledge of our composition and disposition. For movement and maneuver, we have to consider that they are a mechanized unit, so they will have enhanced movement and maneuver compared to our units. Fires, we've already discussed that they have a 152 millimeter howitzer along with an 82 millimeter mortar. Protection, they're already established in defensive positions in villages, giving them good protection and good sustainment since they have control of Route Camara to the north, south, and west. Command and control there is going to be minimized since they are spread out throughout the AO, and the North Torbian leadership structure only has squad leaders and assistant squad leaders on the squad level. Moving on to friendly. Our company's mission statement is to disrupt enemy forces in order to deny enemy influence on battalion main effort. The adjacent units are 1st platoon and, 2nd platoon and 3rd platoon. However, we only have intermittent radio contact with those units. Our platoon mission statement is to disrupt enemy forces in AO Ronin or to deny enemy influence on battalion main objective. Our key tasks are to disrupt enemy operations in depth, deny enemy uncontested use of Route Camaro, and to not give away our composition or disposition. Talk about the platoon concept sketch. 2nd squad will move along Axis Smash to ambush and destroy Objective Reaper, along with 3rd squad moving along Axis Fake to suppress Objective Ghost. Then us, decisive operation, moving along Axis Ultra to destroy Objective Phantom and eliminate the enemy mortar team there, thus enabling the battalion main effort. Squad, this concludes my brief.